Táisich Becky Ward a chluich ide internationte le bhí chluich hoci ystau, bar an de hewlíon talentaiche was the brisí ystau go skipping and banna Alba.
I actually ended up playing a little bit of senior indoor hockey first, I think. I really loved the indoor game, and at the club I was at Dundee Wanderers, they were really, really big on that, and went on to have loads of success. And actually I got invited to go to the seniors indoor kind of. I feel like that was almost first, stands out more in my memory. And I was a real youngster, and I went along, and they were actually training for a World Cup, and it just so happened one of the girls was kind of ill for the kind of World Cup. They went to a tournament before the World Cup. She was ill, so I got called up to go, and I remember going to that, you know, and I got put in a room with, you know, one of these kind of women I used to watch on the pitch and think like, wow, she's, you know, amazing, and it was just such a great experience, and I feel like they all kind of took me under their wing a little bit. So yeah, I did a bit of that, and then kind of from 21s, I got actually invited down to the GB kind of under 21 setup, and I think from that I got called up to come and train with the seniors, and I ended up going to my first cap in 2008, and first big tournament was in 2009. So it did happen quite quick actually from that kind of first call up, I would say.
Ha Becky is farbish ag trí Geamaichean Co-fhlaitheis dreuchd, leis a chiad sé an na Glasgow and a dábílas a céad dreuchd.
I'd missed out on Delhi. I think when I got my first cap 2008 and went to actually a first big tournament in 2009. So in Delhi I missed out kind of on that selection, and that was like obviously really tough at the time, but it definitely gave me the drive to kind of keep pushing on and that hunger to go to Commonwealth Games. So Glasgow, I mean, doesn't get much better than that. And I just remember, you know, being super nervous, like waiting for the selection. We trained so hard in the run-up, we were almost like full time, and we actually trained Glasgow Green had been prepped as the venue, so there was such a big build-up, so then to actually make the selection, it was, you know, just amazing. But it being a home games and just like the buzz around Glasgow, and everyone was coming to support, you know, every day, every game, your family and friends and kind of people you'd even just worked with wanted to come and watch. So yeah, it was just such an honour, and yeah, the crowd's been amazing. I remember playing England, and it was so loud in the stands, and yeah, we didn't again pull off like the most amazing finish to the competition in terms of where we placed, but you know, that game, it was so close, and it was such a good game to play in, so fond memories definitely.
But Becky ma farsin skipping a Alba a hoed aartig and a farbish hockey na Jarpe and a dábílas an dreuchd. Een generutan a share a haid Gianus a dreuchd.
As a nation, Scotland, a bit of a yo-yo team. Like, we go to these kind of the top flight, so the championship division, and for a couple of years we did like stay up, and we managed to like not get kind of relegated down. So when we did get relegated down in 2017, you know, all of us were like, we need to have 100% go and show that we are worthy to be in that top flight, because, you know, we're so close. So to have it again on home soil with home support, and we'd set ourselves, you know, I suppose the target that we were going to go and win, but so there was that added pressure of, you know, we want to get that promotion, but we took it kind of step by step. Every time the crowd was amazing, really pushed us on. We had, you know, a nice kind of semi-final, quite comfortable in the end, but you know, the nerves were definitely there. But the final against Italy, we played them quite a lot in kind of like friendlies and test games in the run-up, and it had been quite tricky for us. They were a tricky team, and we struggled a bit. I don't actually think we beat them in the run-up, and then we ended up having them in the final, and it definitely got quite heated. But then to come away with actually the victory as well, and to kind of overcome that hurdle was just, yeah, an amazing feeling. And yeah, to win gold, like, you know you've done the job, because even getting to the final we got promotion, but getting the gold as well was just like the cherry on top. So yeah, really special, and everyone was there again. So yeah, I've been really lucky to have travel and support pretty much wherever I go. So yeah.
Riochdaich Alba yn Geamaichean ag na Geamaichean an na Birmingham, agus a Becky a fadachgin go bhfuil comasach an skippe barach na sin a Hollanach.
We'd set ourselves quite, you know, high targets, I think, to actually go in there and really perform, and we actually targeted to go in and try and get ourselves into a semi-final, and that's no mean feat, you know, playing in the Commonwealth Games with some of these top nations, Australia, New Zealand, England, and I think we performed well in the games, and I think we were really, you know, almost like devastated to not come away like with a point, or to actually get, you know, the wins. And I think ultimately I definitely just felt in that last game against Canada in the pool, you know, we definitely had, I think, had it within us to win. But whether we just expended so much kind of mental energy into the preparation for those group games, and just, you know, yeah, it was disappointing not to win the last game, but I think we did show a really good account of ourselves and put ourselves on the, you know, the international kind of hockey map that we are an upcoming nation and we want to compete, and we're almost good enough to compete if we really put our mind to it. And, you know, yeah, so it's really exciting times, I think, for the team moving forward.
Céad blina geach an sasan skippe, a Becky is noch go céad de seach go tourist an dùthaich. Riochdaich nach roi'n dúl a cholan a gig bra.
Not really, actually. I think I never ever played with that almost ambition. I just went along and had a really good time as a youngster, and I think that was what really pushed me on. It didn't feel like a chore, and it didn't feel like it was something I was being kind of forced into. It came kind of almost naturally to me, and I had such fun doing it. And even throughout my senior career, everyone used to laugh because I'd always be so nervous before a selection, no matter like what stage it was at. You know, all these Commonwealth Games, every time I was like terrified, or a European Championship selection. So I think when you sit and look back, you're like, wow, it is amazing, and I almost take it for granted because I've just kind of really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's been a real roller coaster, really good.
Ha Becky is a dreuchd an hockey international legal seachad, agus ha mochtjal an sa hula sían a ha colonach sa húne coimhead in skippe náisianta.
I was lucky that it was almost on my own terms. You know, some people maybe have to do it through injury, and I've got a lot to kind of look forward to, and I've probably accomplished quite a lot as well. So I think it was definitely something that I could almost do and feel really content with everything I'd done. And, you know, ultimately I think that was, you know, everything I'd achieved was all I was probably ever going to achieve. So yeah, no, it was quite an easy decision ultimately, and I've got things to look forward to, and I can kind of get stuck into work now, which I've almost had to be really kind of juggling over the years, and just gives you a nice sense of a little bit more free time as well to do it all in. I think for that, like pushing into 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games, we trained really hard. We went to the 2015 Europeans down in London, and we managed to stay up. And again, we had some really, you know, tight games against some top teams, Belgium, Germany, scored some great goals. And I think at that point, yeah, we're in a good place. And then you always get a turnover of people like that retiring, and just the age groups of kind of sometimes the way it happens and people move through these setups. And there was a little bit of a rebuilding phase and change in coaching staff. But I think now it is definitely again moving in that right direction, and it's really exciting for them. I'm almost like sad to be retiring, but it's definitely the right time for me. But just because I do believe that, you know, the aim is to kind of push in and be a top 10 team in the world, and I think they're definitely, you know, on that road, and on the right track. So yeah, sad and, you know, happy with everything I've achieved. Yeah, it's been a good time.